Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Zoe and I was planning on doing a 29 days of wearing new palettes, but then I got sick and I decided to make some bonus kind videos where I did a full face of makeup. And last time I did a full face of makeup on trying to pan, and this time I'm doing a full face of makeup that is new to me. I have new products in almost every category. So let me take you through it. I have this Bonnie Sense Hydra UV Protect SPF 50, which I just put on, which is pretty new to me actually. And then I think I'm gonna, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna start with eyes. I don't have a new eyeshadow primer, but I have an eyeshadow primer that I haven't used in a very long time, which is the ABH eyeshadow primer, which I used to use all the time, but then I started reacting to it. I couldn't find what it was at first because I'd used this for over like a year. I used up an entire one and then some before it started to irritate my skin. So I was like, well, it couldn't be that, but it turned out to be that. So I stopped using it, but I really loved it. So I want to try to use it again, see if it is really something that I've started to, like my body started to get annoyed by, or if it's something that I really developed like an allergy for, or like a reaction to. So yeah, I don't know, there's nothing in here that could cause it because I'm not allergic to any of the ingredients as far as I know, but I'm allergic to a lot of things, so it could be that. So I'm using a little bit, I'm not going overboard, but it's newer to me. I'm reintroducing it, let me put it like that. And what is also newer to me is this palette, the Fighter palette. I have a lot of new palettes, obviously, because that's what this series is about. But I wanted to do something a little bit natural today. It's my first day back at work with the kids. So I work as a teacher. Yesterday we were back to work after a week-long break, but the kids were had one more day off, and we had like an administrative day, which was very nice. But that's why I kind of want to go a little neutral, and with a little neutral I mean a little neutral, because I just started to dunk into the gray shade. I love doing a little bit of color, a little bit of like smokiness. I think that's always very fun to do, very different, not too like standard. And I'm allowed to wear, if anyone has a question about that, I'm allowed to wear any makeup that I want. I work at quite a free school, a school where a lot freedom is given to, well, a lot of responsibilities given to the children, let me put it like that. So, and that makes for like quite a free feeling surrounding, which makes it easier for people like me to also wear a nice color, wear a nice colorful eyeshadow, or whatever I want to do. So I put on this gray base, and now I want to make it a little bit more natural. So I'm going to take the brown that is in this Fighter palette. Oh, by the way, so far I used the shade Cavalier and Warrior. And now I'm gonna put on the brown shade in the crease, which is called Martle. If I'm saying any of these names incorrect, I'm so sorry. I'm not a player of the game that these palettes are inspired by. My brother and sister-in-law hardcore are, I believe. Or hardcore, I mean, they play it, they know the rules, they know how things work. So last time I showed them these palettes, they were like, oh yeah, and the colors match the characters really nicely, and I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know, but I do like the color stories though a lot, but I wouldn't know if they match the characters, but they do. And as far as I heard from them, they do match the characters really nicely. For some reason, this eye doesn't want to do what I wanted to do today, but when I woke up, this eye was also a lot puffier than the other one, so maybe that's where it did go wrong. Having put that brown over, I hope it gives a little bit more of that neutral effect. I'm also putting it in the crease in the inner corner and then blending it up some. Do you guys see what I mean? This eye looks way patchier. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I feel like with every product I put on, I'm making it worse. And now it looks like someone hit me in the eye on this side. See what I mean? What is going on? Well, this is makeup too. Sometimes it works great, and sometimes it just looks like someone hit you in the face. I'm gonna try and see if I can clean this up properly. What I always do when it doesn't work out, I clean off the little piece that connects the lid of your eye to your brows, and then I go in with a little bit of the transition shade and blend that in again. That's what I like to do when things don't work out for me. And then really focus on the movement I'm making instead of how it looks. So I make the exact same movement on both eyes, so I know that this will look better. Okay, does it or does it not? I don't know. It's not this palette. I've used this palette about once or twice. No, once for a real eyeshadow look before, and I liked it. It's just, I think my face is having an off day, which we all have that sometimes. So let's not focus on it too long, or else I'll be too late for work. What I am going to do is I am going to test a new glitter primer, which is this one by Simple Beauty. It's called Glitz Glue. And I always like to use a glitter primer as a base for shimmers. Ooh, this dries pretty fast. So it's good that I'm working with two hands because you wouldn't be able to do this in time with one hand, and it's very sticky. It has some holding power, so I have high expectations for this. So I want to get into this shade this time because I haven't used this yet. And it looks like an interesting shade. This is called Fervor. Yeah, I'm butchering this. Hi. I'm butchering this like hardcore. I'm so sorry, people that do know how to pronounce this. For people that wonder if I do feel stupid pronouncing these names so wrong, yes, I do. I do feel stupid. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I put Fervor in the inner, like, 1/3, and now I'm putting Might in the outer part, and then I'm gonna connect them with Victory, which is a bronzy shade, which I thought could be nice. And I'm putting that bronzy shade almost entirely over that purple shade, but on the edges I'm just tapping, and on the inner part over the red I'm actually making a more wipey motion. Like that. Okay, so far so good. And now what I really want to do is, normally I have something that I always use when a palette doesn't have an inner corner, but that's not new to me because it's my second tube of it, so I don't think we can call that new anymore. But there's one more shade I do want to use from this palette. Or should we just go in and use all the shades? Maybe we should. So I'm putting Blade, the darker silver shade, in the inner corner because that's the only shimmer shade except for Glory that I haven't used. And then I'm gonna go into Glory, and I'm gonna line the outer corner with that. And the inner corner. And the middle of the eye. And then I'm gonna connect everything. And that is the finished eye look. Except for, of course, mascara and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do mascara real quick because I don't have a new mascara. I'm just using my old one, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I put mascara on. Now it's time for the face. I have a new Sephora primer, which is called the Care Primer. And it's fragrance free and all of that good stuff, so that's supposed to work. Oh, it looks very, it's like, it looks almost silicone-y. Feels a little silicone-y, but also not. It's quite strange. It feels like any hydrating primer, like for example the Milk Makeup one, and a silicone primer got a baby. That's what it feels like. Oh no, I touched my eye. And now the lashes are clumped together. I was like, oh yeah, my lashes are nice and model today. And now they're not. Are you feeling me? I'm just having a bad lash day. A bad makeup day already. but we're gonna continue on. I mean, we're not gonna give up. Gonna keep on going. So this is the primer. So far, it's good. Feels kind of strange, but it's good. For concealer, I have this, but for some reason there's tape all around it. More Dutch drugstores do this because apparently otherwise people will completely open the packaging in store of every product, which I think is super rude, but maybe that's just me. And we're gonna put concealer everywhere I want a little bit of extra coverage. And this is DW7 HD We Got You Covered Concealer. And I have this fixing spray that I've had for some time, but I haven't used, so I thought that was the closest to new, or haven't used in a long time. That was the closest to new I could find in my collection. However, this is a very aggressive sprayer, and I always like to mix in a bit of setting spray with my concealer to make it a little bit more emollient, to make it move around a bit more, but I don't dare to spray this straight on my face because I know my eye makeup will run because it's so aggressive. Like the spray itself, the sprayer itself, not the spray itself. So that's why I'm putting it on my hand and then putting it on the face. Well, putting the spray on my sponge actually, and then on my face. Okay, so this is the concealer. I have used this before, and then I used it up in a lighter shade. I didn't have it in my collection because I couldn't find it anywhere. Now I rebought it, but there's been some time between. So this I do feel is new to me. And then I don't have new foundation, but I have this that I have, talking is difficult, that I have had for some time now, but I haven't used it that much yet. I think I've used this the least out of all the options that I have for foundation, so I think it should be okay to use this. I do like it though. It's a nice product. It's the Cicapair by Dr. Jart. It's supposed to be a Tiger Grass color corrector, but I'm just able to use it kind of as a foundation, which I don't know if that's what's intended for, but I do it anyways. Then I'm the least organized person on planet Earth right now. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put on some cream products before I put on the powders. And first of all, I'm gonna take this brush. I hope this brush works with it. And I'm gonna take my ColourPop bronzer. Oh, it does work with this, but I could have been a little less excited with the amount of color I put on. But it's a nice color. This is the ColourPop bronzer in Get Sandy. I've had this laying around for quite some time, but I hadn't used it. I'd swatched it like a couple of times, but every time I wanted to use it, I was like, oh, how do I use a putty product like that? So then I decided to use something else. This is basically the story of this product's life. I think also you're either like super used to working with the Super Shock products and know exactly how to use them, or you're like, okay, I like it, but how do I use this? You know? I feel like that's the two moods people have around Super Shock products. And I really like the Super Shock for the eyes. I think I like this, but I just didn't know how to use it properly. But so far, I really enjoy it. So that looks good. That looks decent. Okay. It feels really nice on the skin. And now with that same brush, I think I'm gonna use this. And I'm gonna use this because it scares the shit out of me. Because this is the Benetint and it's supposed to be a lip and cheek stain. And I'm kind of scared of that name. I mean, a cheek stain. Is that a good thing? Is that something I want? I just don't know. It does look very nice, though. I do really like the look of it. It looks very, like, natural looking. Yeah, I do enjoy this so far. It looks pretty. It does look pretty. I'm gonna put a little bit more on the like the actual cheek instead of just up on the cheekbone, because I feel like that's where the most product is concentrated now. Yeah, okay. Okay, don't mind this. I was just so scared by how liquidy it was and by the name. Like, I don't want something to actually stain my cheeks for like days. But so far so good, and I just took it off with a wipe off my hand, and that's doable. It left a little bit of a color stain, but nothing too bad. So that's great. Let's put on the last powder product. Oh, we really need to hurry up. This I'm just gonna put on with my finger. I only have one cream highlighter that was newer to me. I don't have that many cream highlighters altogether, but I had this one, which is the Wings Club Darcy highlighting stick, which it has a bit of a green glow, but I don't mind that with this look because it's softer, and also I'm a little yellow toned, like neutral yellow undertone, so a green highlighting stick doesn't look as like off on me as for people with like a pink undertone. So this is the highlighting stick that I used. This is the color it looks like, so you can see it's pretty green, but on the skin it looks like quite a beautiful glow. So yeah, it does feel a little not greasy, but a little bit emollient, but nothing that I'm like worried about. Okay, let's top all of this off with powder, if I can get this to open. I used to have a mini of this and I loved it, and then recently I was on holiday and I saw this in store, which where I live you can't get this in my town. You can get this like 2 towns over, but not like in my own town. So I saw this in a store and I was like, ooh, I can't normally get that easily, so why not why not try it out and give it a go again, because I do really enjoy it. And I thought maybe we should give it another try, see how I like it now. And as far as I'm concerned, I still really like it. By the way, it's in the shade Banana. It's the NYX Banana Powder. Oh, my eyes. I'm having one of those days. And then for bronzer, I did swatch this, but I didn't use it. The Essence Kissed by the Lights bronzer. But the thing is, I don't have like a swirly bronzer brush, so I don't know how this is gonna look. I think I have a lot of excess. Ooh, I have a lot excess. I'm just gonna stamp this on first because I don't know if I will have too much. And then I'm just gonna swirl it around. This is nice as like a bronzer blush hybrid if you would want that, I think. And I do like this over another bronzer that I have on already because it is a little more shimmery and glowy, and because I have like a more matte bronzer on already, it doesn't look as, I don't want to say crazy, but as in your face as it would, I think, if you didn't have any bronzer on yet. Is it even? Is it? I'm gonna put a little bit of the excess powder that's on my brush on there, on my cheeks. Okay, I can't do my makeup today, and neither can I talk. This is so annoying. Did I use... Oh, I did. True. I didn't use any Revolution products, I think, so I have a few powder blushes, but I think I'm gonna go for this one, which is the Revolution blush in the shade Ballerina, which is quite a cool toned pink. Which is not necessarily the same color as I put underneath, but that's fine. It also has a brightness to it, so that makes sense. And now I think I'm just gonna swirl it around a bit. And I'm also gonna put a little bit on the nose, the bridge of the nose. That always ties it in nicely together, or else I feel I look like a clown. So this is the blush shade that I used. And then last but not least, I didn't have a light highlighter that I hadn't used before, only like darker highlights. So I'm very curious to see how this goes, but I'm gonna use the Lethal Cosmetics Gamma highlighter, which, I mean, looks pretty dark to me, but I want to give it a go. That's pretty. I am gonna go over with that blush brush again to kind of tie it in. But it does look nice and glowy. The only thing I know I can't do with this is like highlight the nose and the Cupid's bow. So I am gonna use something different for that. But so far, I thought it would be much darker, but it has more of like a not necessarily see-through base, but a lighter base. So that's great. And now I'm just using the product that I always use for my high points of the face. So this is not new, nor is this worth mentioning because I always use this, but if you're wondering, if you're new here and you're like, what is she always using? It's the Wet n Wild Moon Tears highlighter. That is annoying because it's a loose highlighter and that gets everywhere every time I use it, but that's I feel like that's also part of the job. Okay, last two pieces, brows and lips. I don't have a newer lip liner, so I'm putting a little bit of a lip liner I already know on my lips. I'm gonna quickly do my brows. I might finish my brows off camera if they don't want to work with me, because brows are so specific. Doing my brows is the part of my makeup that I hate. I love doing every part of makeup, but I just despise doing my brows. I really don't enjoy the whole experience of doing brows. To me, there's nothing fun about it. Also, they never look exactly the same, so there's no gratification from it either. Okay, I put the base on, and with this MUA brow triangle thingy, and now I'm going to take this super mini Benefit tester, and I'm going to make them even with this. If I can. Well, this is terrible. This is not what I wanted, but okay. We're gonna have to leave it at that because we don't have enough time to like fully make like a whole brow video. So I think it's doable. Am I proud of my brows? No. Is it doable? Yes. By the way, I used this ooh, come on, mini Benefit tester. And now for lips, I'm gonna put on a nude lip. This is the Scooby-Doo and Glamlite Rara lipstick. And